Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education through the physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 8 of the Function with Purpose podcast. Last episode, Season 6, everybody. Dr. Amy here with you today. I'm going to leave this season on a hot topic that is basically on you, the listener. It's on me too, which I'm still striving to constantly build and refine. So, building a more durable and robust body. How? What do we need to look for? What does this even entail? Here's my 2 cents. Number 1, you need to be aware. Because if you're not aware, then you don't know. If you don't know, then you're shooting in the dark. Right? Controlling our basic health metrics, health and wellness metrics, at the foundational level. 4 main metrics. I am going to hone in and pound this in the public's brain as much as possible, and even my brain, because I'm part of the public, are 4 basic metrics that we can constantly refine at the foundational level is, number 1, first and foremost, sleep. 2nd, nutrition, proper fueling of our body. Movement, number 3, and lastly, stress management. So definitely talking about the big one, sleep. And I'm just going to go over some basic thought dots on this. And I guess you can just kind of take it for what it is. So as you guys know, I grew up and still am in the process of growing up. But I played basketball growing up, and that was my jam. I played in college. Just now, actually, have a basketball and started shooting again after like 10 years. So I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. He is just the GOAT. So, and if you guys grew up watching Michael Jordan, he constantly owned and was so good at the foundations of basketball. It was just, he could do things blindfolded, right? Which he did. He would shoot free throws blindfolded within a game under fatigue and still make it. So this is what I'm talking about. Being so good at the basic that literally you can do this like looking at the backside of your hand. You could do this blindly. So sleep, the number 1 metric that needs to remain a constant staple in your health span. Because if you have shitty sleep and it's decreased quality, yet alone not appropriate quantity, like 3 hours of sleep, we want to strive for that 6 to 8 range, but quality is where it's at. How consistent are you with your sleep-wake cycle? For me, I pretty much get up every day, the majority of every day, around 5 a.m. And I go to bed, start prepping for bed, start laying down in bed around 8:30 p.m. And sometimes around 8:45. But literally, I try to be asleep by 9 p.m. So, number 1, being consistent with your sleep-wake cycle. Are you waking up with the sun? Are you going to bed with the moon type deal, right? How's your room prepped? Is the room cool? Is there a little fan, white noise, right? Is it pitch black? Now, I don't sleep pitch black. That's something that I got to get into. But I think one of the big things with sleep is trying to maintain that consistency of your sleep-wake cycle. I think that is what is going to build quality first and foremost, okay? Next, foundational health and wellness metric, nutrition. Nutrition, or proper fueling, is what keeps us moving, what keeps us functioning every day, right? And the three main macronutrients that we talk about or input our body are fats, carbs, and protein. Out of those three macronutrients, first and foremost, I think, and definitely research backs this up, protein is king or queen. Protein, we are literally a walking piece of protein. Think protein, any type of meats that we consume. So chicken, even eggs, pork, steak, fish, any type of seafood, tofu. Those are more heavily protein-based type resources. So if you want to try to hit your protein on a daily basis, or a good target to hit is trying to intake about your body weight in grams. So for example, I weigh about 135, 140 pounds, somewhere in that range. And that's how much protein I want to consume per day, around 140, 135 grams per day. So 1 gram per body weight. So if you weigh 200, try to aim for 200 grams, give or take 20. So you might undershoot by 20 grams, so 180, or overshoot by 220. But for the most part, try to aim for body weight in grams. I was never a big thing or a big believer on protein sources, yet alone like nutrition sources. I think I'm starting to realize that food that is actually grown in the earth or labeled organic or being as earthly as possible, hands down better for you, right? Things that are on the perimeter of the grocery store. So anytime you enter a grocery store, try to think and aim for obtaining amazing balance, amazing sources between grocery that is alongside of the perimeter of a grocery store. So that's a lot of produce, potatoes, fresh vegetables, lettuce, etc., right? And then try to avoid the inner aisles. But don't forget to treat yourself. Right? I like chocolate. Third health metric, daily movement or exercise training. That is a must. On my previous podcast episode number 7 of this season 6, I talk about low intensity steady state cardio. That is very, very low intensity, between 50 and 60% of your heart rate max, that we should get daily, right? Because in turn, we are lengthening our distance to developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and some other comorbidities. So daily movement, lifting heavy weights and putting them down, right? That is going to build better bone health, muscle strength, tendon health and strength, ligament or joint stability, and it also strengthens our nervous system, right? So getting some type of daily movement, exercise training that you like, and also incorporating some of that low intensity steady state cardio. So you can reap the benefits of both lifting heavy things, straining your muscles, right, for the better, right? Don't forget, muscles made of protein. I just talked about nutrition. Protein is king or queen, right? So you essentially break down your body so that it can come back bigger and better and stronger and faster and healthier every time you exercise, because you're getting your movement and then you're fueling yourself. Yeah? And lastly, stress management. Stressors, daily stressors. Thinking of ways and incorporating aspects into your daily routine and habits to give yourself like, how do you manage your stress? Because we all have some type of stress that bothers us. Stress interacting with our coworkers, stress interacting with our family members. Maybe someone else's fire is becoming your fire and you feel like you have to put it out. So how can we indirectly tap into our nervous system stress management system, right? So there's some pretty solid research on getting daily outside exposure, whether it's on a cloudy day or a sunny day. Of course, sun is great, exposing your skin to sun, right? Taking naps. If you feel kind of beat down and you did not really obtain 6 to 8 hours of sleep quantity-wise, then you might look to take a 30 to 45 minute power nap. That will help increase your quality of sleep too, which then obviously can help with stress management. Maybe it's daily journaling. Maybe you just need to dot stuff down into a journal, handwrite it. I did that this past year. It was okay. I don't know if I'm going to do it for this 2023 year. And then one thing for stress management I want to tap on as well is, and I've been doing this almost pretty much daily, is breathing patterns, but specifically nasal breathing. Nasal breathing, along with a specific inhale, exhale, breath hold, can tap into our autonomic nervous system, our fight or flight nervous system. So we can actually help manage stress levels by nasal breathing, and doing some type of rebound position. Maybe we're just laying on our backs, closing our eyes, and just breathing through our nose for 2 to 5 minutes. Oh, and get this, when you do your LISS activity, only breathe through your nose. Hot dang, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Same thing with breathing. Breathing's a little bit different during sleep. Some people are mouth breathers, some are nasal. We want to try to be nasal breathers, but so refining the foundations, right? If you're not aware, then you don't know. But the 4 main buckets to focus on for our basic health and wellness metrics: sleep, number 1, first and foremost. Number 2, nutrition, proper fueling, especially with protein being the king and queen. 3rd, movement, daily exercise, resistance training, and also incorporating low intensity steady state cardio, or LISS. And lastly, stress management. How can we control our autonomic, our fight or flight, parasympathetic nervous systems? Well, getting daily exposure outside, napping, journaling. And I think one of the big things is nasal breathing. So just to give you guys some input, hopefully that might help you kind of start some better habits for yourself. And which bucket is going to be your primary to kind of focus on right now? Should be sleep. Anywho, yeah. But that's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys in season. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose podcast. For more information on this episode, please check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.